This walkthrough provides a complete overview of BatchStream, moving through every core section of the system, from the admin portal, receipts, production, holding, and invoicing. The admin portal is where you manage all foundational data for your operation. Everything shown here flows through to receipts, production, holding, invoicing, and reporting. The first section is Organisation Details. This is where you maintain your company profile, including name, address, contact numbers, email, and ABN. Information entered here appears on your invoices. Next is the Users section. This displays all users linked to the account, their roles, their access level, verification status, and whether the user is active or inactive. New users can be added and modified here. The operational settings consist of the 5 core configuration settings that define how raw materials, finished goods, and storage facilities behave inside the system. The first is raw materials, which in the case of AdBlue production consists of raw material types and dimensions. Below that are raw material storage locations, which have a short code and an active status. Next are the production facilities. Each facility has a plant name and an activation toggle. Finished goods are defined in the next section, and finished goods storage facilities in the section after that. Outside of operational settings are client settings. The Reports button provides access to a collection of reports. The Integrations section shows which external services the account is connected to. If MYOB integration is active, then client and finished goods data will be imported directly from there. The next section is the Receipts module, which is where all incoming raw materials are captured, reviewed, corrected, and traced. Deliveries are recorded in the receipt input area. Once the receipt date, the container or truck number, quantity, purchase order, batch, raw material dimensions, type, and the storage location are entered, the receipt is immediately written to the register. The table below shows all receipts for the last week by default, but can be adjusted for any other date range. Each row displays the details recorded for it, and can be edited or deleted if required. In addition, each row can be expanded. When expanded, you will see the audit trail for that particular receipt. This identifies the user who entered it and any subsequent movements related to it. At the bottom of the screen are 3 tools. RM Stock on Hand and Transfer opens the current stock on hand, allowing you to transfer quantities between clients if required. Stock Totals gives a live total based on the selected material type. Barcodes opens the barcode printing screen. Export CSV downloads the currently visible receipts into a spreadsheet. Selecting RM Stock on Hand and Transfer opens the inventory view. Here you can see each receipt line as a stock line with its remaining quantity and other details. To perform a transfer, enter the quantity to move, select the receiving client, and select Transfer. The stock balance updates immediately, and the audit record on the original receipt is updated to reflect the transfer. Back in the main receipt register, you will now see 2 audit entries, the original receipt and the transfer movement. The barcode screen is used when you need physical labels for pallet or container identification. Barcodes can be printed 1 or 2 per page, depending on the preferred label layout. Next is the Production module. To add a new production job, enter the date, production PO, finished goods item ID, and facility. Click Add. The job now appears in the active job list. Before you complete a job, you need to scan the inventory. Select the job and click Scan. A QR code will appear, and you'll use this to start scanning the materials that go into that job. Each scan updates the scanned inventory field so you can see exactly what's been added. Once all the scanning is done and you're sure everything is correct, you can then click Complete. This finalizes the job, moves it out of the active list, and marks it as done. After a job is completed, clicking the View Completed button will switch the view to show all jobs that have been marked as completed. You'll see the same columns, but now they include a completion timestamp and yield, which will be updated as the finished goods are stored in storage facilities. The next step is the Holding module. The holding module is where finished goods are temporarily held before dispatch. You'll see a visual of the holding tank's capacity, how full it is, and how much space is left. The color codes at the top will show if it's replenishing, depleting, filled, or empty. To add stock, click Stock In. A window will open where you can select the production PO, enter the amount of stock, and confirm any test percentages if needed. Once you save, the stock is added, and the tank's fill level updates. To remove stock, click Stock Out. Enter the details of the removal, including the driver, who loaded it, the quantity, and vehicle ID. Once you confirm, the stock is taken out, and the tank level is adjusted again. Stock can also be returned to a facility if needed. Clicking Dispatch Entries in the stock history at the bottom of the screen shows details of the driver, loader, and vehicle ID. The final module is Invoicing. At the top, you'll see the company details and the Bill To information. Below that, each line item includes the item ID, description, unit of measure, quantity, unit price, tax, and total amount. All these details are automatically pulled from your closed production orders. To create an invoice, click the Manage Closed POS button, which will show all closed or completed production purchase orders that are ready to be invoiced. Click the Invoice button to include a line in the invoice being created, or the Reinstate button if the purchase order was closed in error and needs to be made available in holding again. Once the Invoice button is clicked, the invoice is automatically created as shown. Clicking the Post Invoice to MIOB button will send the invoice to the user's MIOB account via API.